These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Sunday, May 5th, and we finally know who the Celtics are playing in the second round of the playoffs, and it is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Magic had them on the ropes. They're up by like 17 in the first half, and they choked. They lost by about 10 in the last 2 minutes of the game. Magic could not get it done. This was quite literally a home team wins every single game series. The Cavs looked dead in game 6. They got stopped, or no, there was one. They looked dead at the beginning of the game, and then they picked it up. Game 6.
Well, they looked dead in both.
Yeah, there were periods where they looked dead in both. But the Celtics will be taking on the Cavaliers, meaning I have to go to Cleveland, which, woo. A reminder, as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We'd appreciate it very much. I will say, Sam, so I was at a buddy's house. I was in Alston on Friday night, and we were going to go out, and the game was on, whatever, right? We're hanging out, and my buddy's girlfriend, like I was talking about, I don't want to go to Cleveland. She goes, wasn't there an NBA player who basically said, like, no one ever said we want to go on vacation in Cleveland? Like that's how deep the anti-Cleveland propaganda runs. Even they know that. Regardless, team to team, we've talked about it a little bit on Talking C's when we didn't know who it was. Talked about both. How you feeling, Sam? How you feeling? Celtics Cavaliers round 2.
Well, I think we both wanted this. We both preferred them to Orlando.
Yes.
Orlando had like this dangerous feel to them where they're a young team and they really have an extra win to them when they play at home. So it has potential to that series have it go a while. With Cleveland is a probably more poised team, but I still just I don't really buy them. It's like kind of weird. My whole thing with Cleveland has been I don't think they're going to punch back, and they just came back from the largest Game 7 deficit in NBA history.
Is that really is that a thing?
Yeah,
I didn't know this was a thing. Oh wow,
they came back from today, and I still am like not moved. I don't know. They haven't won on the road yet. If they're going to move past the Celtics, they will have to win a road game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a thing for them to get past. Donovan Mitchell looked fantastic in these last 2 games.
Yeah.
Completely took over today, led the charge, got Cleveland back into the game, had a 50-burger in game 6, and just got no help from the rest of his team. And I think that's really where the Celtics are going to be able to take control of this. Nobody else on Cleveland has given them jack shit in this playoff run. Jared Allen is probably going to be back at some point in the Celtics series, but out with a rib injury the last couple games. Mobley has been whatever. Garland has been very cold. He was off today. He made a 3 in the fourth quarter. But before that, I think he only had like 2 points, 1 of 10 from the field. Just really rough go. Throughout this entire series, Cleveland made 63 pointers.
Yeah, I was going
to Celtics made 75 in 5 games against Miami.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah, the Cavs only cracked 10 threes in 2 games. Both of which, Sam, who would have thought? They won. They won the games where they made more threes. This should be a math series, realistically. Like, this should be a series where the Celtics just outscore Cleveland and hold their lackluster offense outside of Donovan Mitchell 2-0. And for what it's worth, even Donovan Mitchell, he's not a good 3-point shooter in the playoffs. In the last 3 years, 20.8% in 2022, 28.9% last year, 25% through 6 this year. I don't know. That's where reference did an update for Game 7, but the Celtics should win this based on the math alone. That said, if you want to dive deeper, which obviously this is a preview, we're going to, something that I've preached that I know you have agreed with is the Celtics offense should kill this Cavs backcourt. Like in the playoffs, where everything comes down to, all right, we're going to hunt the matchups we want even more, like 10 times out of 10. Like I talked about it in the Knicks Sixers article I wrote, like they're going to run a million Jalen Brunson pick and rolls. They're going to run a million Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic actions. They're going to run a million Shea drives. The Celtics should run a million, bring either of the Cleveland guards into the action and get them on Jason Tatum plays. Like that should just be it. Get one of them on Jason Tatum. And that this isn't saying, oh, have Jason Tatum go off. No, because then Cleveland's going to send help and Jason Tatum's going to do what he's done the entire playoffs, which is make the next pass and get a Celtics player open for a bucket. That should be the entire series. You don't need, and the whole Kristaps absence thing is looming large, obviously, because it's a big part of the team. you do not need Kristaps to win the series. I think you take Kristaps off the Celtics team, and the Celtics are still a better team than this Cavaliers team. Like there is no business for the Celtics to be fucking around. I think the offense should be just as much of a well-oiled machine as it looked to be in the last 3 games of the Miami series, where they made Miami look like a JV team. This Cavaliers team is better than that Miami team, purely in the sense of they have guys who can score and create for themselves, but the Celtics have Drew Holiday and Derek White, which is, I don't even think arguably, it just is the best defensive backcourt in the league by, I would say, pretty wide margin. They have a great defense. They have Al Horford. They have great guys off the bench. Like this needs to be talent trumps talent in the case of the series, and you have to kill Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell on the other end. Like that has to be the focal point, or Jared Allen, because something they did in the regular season too was just bring Al Horford or Kristaps Porzingis, whoever Allen was on, to screen, and then get Allen on Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum just cooked him every single time. So there are so many defensive matchups problems for the Cavs in this series that the Celtics should just be able to outscore them. Not to say that defense isn't important, but just that layer of it is so clear to me.
Yeah, I think the pure difference in firepower, big story here. Cleveland failed to crack 100 points how many times in that series?
They scored 106, 96, 104, 89, 83, 96, 94. So they cracked 100 2 times.
2 times. Probably isn't good enough. Now, Orlando, like you mentioned, not a bad defense. Not a bad defense at all. Celtics also not a bad defense. Celtics
I'm pretty sure they're 2-3. I'm pretty sure by the way the teams, or excuse me, the defensive rating stats ended in the regular season, it was Minnesota 1, Celtics 2, Magic 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 right there. So they're on par.
Yeah, on par. Better offense, better scoring options in Boston. Good ball movement. A team that is fluid, so they don't have to play through any set player. Can be the Derek White game. You saw Derek White take over in games 4 and 5 against Miami. The whole story from general national NBA Twitter was, oh, Tatum sucks. Tatum's not scoring. Tatum's numbers aren't there in the playoffs. Well, Tatum's numbers don't have to be there because the Celtics don't have to force feed him if you're going to show him 3 defenders every possession like Miami was. Instead, the ball swings around. The open man gets shots. And for the most part, they're going to go in. Derek White was fantastic in the Miami series. Jalen had moments in the Miami series where he was good. He's going to have to be probably more under control against Cleveland. Felt like he missed a lot of layups. Went in on drives out of control a few times. Drew Holiday could be a little bit better. Thought he was good in game 5. But, I mean, his real value comes on the defensive end. And him and Derek White will have their hands full with Mitchell and Garland.
Yeah.
You are well equipped to guard this Cavs team. That is the bonus. If you want to just look at defenses, the matchups really favor Boston. Darius Garland is going to have to guard somebody, like you mentioned. Like they're going to have to go at him, and he's going to have to try his best. Even if it's Drew Holiday that they try and put him on, post him up.
Yeah,
make him pay. Make him pay.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the 3 games the Celtics played against the Cavs season. One was, there were 2 in December and 1 in March, and we all know the one in March. First one in December, Celtics went down by 15 in the first quarter, and then they came back all the way, won the game. Next one in December, which was literally 2 days later, it was like a back-to-back. The Celtics won wire to wire, led by 14. Cavs got it down to 5 at the start of the fourth quarter, but it was a blowout. And then obviously we know the Dean Wade game, though Dean Wade has been out for the playoffs, so the Celtics have that monkey off their back at the very least. Listen, man, the only way the Cavs win games in this series, in my opinion, is the same way the Heat won game 2, where they make all the threes. And it's up to the Celtics to play with the same intensity and purpose that they played with in games 3, 4, and 5 against the Heat, to where they are closing out on shooters effectively while also guarding the drive, because I do think you're going to have a similar thing with the Adebayo Hero pick and roll that posed a problem for the Celtics briefly. Like Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell have just as equally a talent there. Obviously, I don't think Jared Allen is as adept of a scorer on the post as Bam Adebayo is, and so I think that could be a benefit for the Celtics. But you still have a great screener and a guy fully ready to kill them on the drive. That said, Jared Allen missed some games in the series. He was out for Game 7. So he's been dealing with a rib thing, so that could be something to watch out for. Mobley's also been really good in this series. So you have a bit more interior presence. The Cavs were another one of those teams that seems to be pretty physical with Boston. Not to the level of like Orlando and Minnesota were, but like that's how they kind of like to play a little bit. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. But again, math. Cavs don't take or make lots of threes. Celtics do both of those things, and they have a good defense. This screams to me of the Cavs are going to run into the same offensive woes that they had against the Magic, a good defensive team. However, they're not going to bank on Paolo Banchero turnaround middies and Franz Wagner deep threes. They're going to have to deal with Jason Tatum and Al Horford in the pick and roll, Derek White doing Derek White things, Jaylen Brown on the drive instead of Cole Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a different level. If this Cavs team struggled to beat that Magic team, Celtics need to be serious. This is the way that I'll put it.
They very much do need to be serious. I agree. I think that's a good take. The point about the difference in the firepower is just probably going to be shocking for people who watched the last series rooting for the Cavs. You're going to deal with the Celtics. There's just no shortage. Like, there's no way to really squeeze them. They're so flexible. They can just defer to whatever option you leave. And hopefully they're able to capitalize. And I'm sure there's going to be games where they have cold shooting days. There's going to be a game where Cleveland has a good shooting night and you might lose it. But overall, the Celtics just should not look like the Magic team. Hopefully nobody on the Celtics is going 1 of 15 in a Game 7 like Franz did today. It was just quite the turn of events that needed to happen in order for the Cavs to win. I'm so happy that the team that only had 1 player score points in the fourth quarter of Game 6 is the team that the Celtics get to play. I'm so happy that the team that had somebody commit an 8-second violation with the game on the line is the team that the Celtics get to play. Now, I'll say things I'm not glad about. Don't love that I have to see Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert, someone who, no matter what, will be there to kill the Celtics.
Yep.
Don't love that I have to see Max Strus. Said it on
Max
Talking
Strus.
C's, tweeted it today. It'll be in the Celtics blog article when it comes together. He is the last remaining drop of Heat culture sitting there waiting. And he's a part of this series. You just can't get away from Heat culture.
That
it's
he
like
is.
when Venom gets teleported back to his universe in Marvel, he just leaves a drop of the symbiote. It's Heat culture.
Man, I just math. Like, that's all I'm going back to. This is another math series. The Cavs just aren't a good 3-point shooting team. And there's going to be nights where Max Strus is going to get hot. There's going to be a night where Karis LeVert makes some shots. Like you said, like those are going to happen. But if that's all that's happening, the Celtics should be able to, 1, outscore them, and 2, stop everyone else around them. I don't think the Cavs have the consistent firepower to keep up on that end. Now, just as I'm saying, the Celtics need to bully Garland and Mitchell and Jared Allen on the perimeter at the very least. Like, the Cavs are going to do stuff like that too. Like, I can imagine they're going to bring Jared Allen to screen, and he's going to have to, or Al Horford's going to have to guard the perimeter a little bit. Like, he's going to have to come out, guard down on Mitchell, let Drew get back. But then that's where, guys rotate on the back end. And I'm curious to see if Joe is going to put 2 on the ball and then send help on the roll, or he's going to just have Drew Holiday go over and give up like some rear contest threes for Donovan Mitchell. Because like I said, Donovan Mitchell's a fine 3-point shooter, but Like he's not an amazing 3-point shooter, especially in the playoffs. Or maybe you play a little bit in drop. I don't love drop in this series just because if you let Donovan Mitchell get downhill, it's not great, but it worked a little bit in the Heat series, so I can see them going to it a little bit. I'm curious if they just guard this straight. Like I'm curious if it's going to just be okay. The guards guard the guards. Jason Tatum gets Mobley. Jalen gets the wing, and Horford guards Jared Allen. Or do you get tricky, or do you get
You get staggered matchups, like
yeah,
Holiday guarding Mobley.
Yeah, like if you put, excuse me, you put Holiday on Jared Allen, then you can't screen with Jared Allen because then you're going to have Holiday in the action, and that's not what you want. But then if you guard, if you try to screen with Evan Mobley instead, if you put Drew Holiday on him, then that leaves Tatum in the action. Like that's not going to help you. And the issue is where do you hide Horford? Like if you hide Horford on Karis LeVert, then you could have Karis LeVert come screen. But I'm more comfortable with Derek White getting over a Karis LeVert screen than a Jared Allen screen. You know what I'm saying? Like I was listening to Zach Lowe talk about this in the context of the Timberwolves Nugget series. By the way, Timberwolves. All right. All right. And they were talking about like, oh, if you guard, you try to hide Jokic off the ball like the Lakers are doing it. So instead of having Jokic guard Anthony Davis, you had Jokic guard Hachimura. So Hachimura would have to screen, and he's not as good of a screener. So like all that stuff, like, do the Celtics get fancy or do they just guard it straight? I think you can, excuse me, I have something in my throat, mix stuff up to get it to the point where like the Cavs are a little bit off balance. But at the end of the day, math, talent, and threes. Math, talent, threes should win the series.
To your point, like the talent makes it so you really don't even have to panic on defense. You don't really have anybody, maybe Horford, that you don't want guarding perimeter players, but even then he's still okay at it. He's not as good as he once was. But besides him, you can switch just about everything. You nailed it on the head with the Jokic thing. You just put Horford on, I don't know, Isaac Okoro, you'll probably be all right. Just looking down the Cavs box score from Game 7, they shot 8 of 24 from 3 for Kobe. Max Strus, 3 of 6. Everybody else, 5 of 18. That's real bad. Donovan Mitchell, 2 of 8. Garland, 1 of 4. LeVert,
He only
0
took
for
24
2.
threes.
Yeah, Merrill, 2 for 2.
No,
Isaac
he took 30
Okoro, 0
threes.
for 2.
I'm looking at the box score. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm looking at game 1 because they made 8 threes in both. Wow.
The Cavs, by the way,
threes.
scored 106 points today. 30 of them were free throws. They took 36 free throws in this Game 7. Magic took 30, so they were not letting them play. And, of course, there was some late game fouling because it was somewhat close. But I'm not convinced this Cavs team's going to be able to score that easy.
Sam, in game, what is this? 1, 2, 3. In game 4 of this series, do you know how many threes they took?
18.
17. They took 17 3-pointers in an NBA basketball game. Like, you just have no chance. You have no chance to win if that's how many threes you take. Like, they shot 30, 39, 34, 17, 37, 28, 24. And let's find the correlation here. When they shot 30 or more threes, they were 2-1. When they shot 20 or more threes, like it's so obvious that people hate it. I know, but like people are I hate this is why I don't like the what's it called? Oh, all the threes. I hate the threes, people. Dude, that's how you win games. Like that is literally how you win basketball games. And it's I get wanting to cut out the step back threes. I get wanting to cut out on some of the dribble threes, but like moving the ball and getting open 3-pointers equals wins.
Correct.
That's what the Celtics have done all season. That's what the Celtics should do against this Cavs team. And the Celtics should be able to prevent the Cavs from doing that because the Cavs aren't good at that in general. And the Celtics have a really damn good defense. So Celtics should be doing good. I don't want to do official. Do you want to do official predictions? Are we doing that? Is that not a thing we do?
Not into it.
Not do that. But yeah. All right. Anything else that you wanted to cover? I think we missed George Yang. George Yang's a pain in the ass, and I'm ready for it. That's
anything we're gonna cover. We'll cover a little bit on the pod tomorrow. So we'll have more time to discuss this. We only got a day in between. We're gonna just have nothing to do. So I'm sure we'll uncover every stone when we get the chance. We got pod being recorded, Celtics the round table tomorrow, and maybe talking C's. So
What time is Celtics Roundtable tomorrow? Do you know what time we're doing that? Normal time, 6?
I'd assume 6. Ask out of you and me. But I think 6.
We could do talking C's at 10 instead. Because practice is not till 12:45-ish. So we could do 10.
That's
We'll
up to
talk.
you guys. Make a decision before I go to sleep, please.
Let me text Bobby. I'll text Bobby right now. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think of the Celtics-Cavs series in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with new content at 5 a.m., whether it's videos like these, full pods Tuesday, Thursday, and a weekend day, or game recaps the morning after. We will be here for you. We also have streams, Talking C's tentatively Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Celtics the Roundtable is typically Tuesdays around 6. We got game 1 on Tuesday at the Garden, so a lot of the Roundtable is going to be kind of busy. We're going to have to do it on Monday. And we're coming at you for pregame, half hour before every single game. So come hang out on the channel. Jack and I will be here, and it's usually a lot of fun. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. Pods and recaps are there, so they'll go right to your feed if you hit the follow. Leave us a 5-star review. We would appreciate it very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. I'm sure you got something to say about Mitchell and the boys over there in Cleveland, so send it our way. You can also send in your rat list. We love to hear from you guys. You can email us at HowAboutThemCs. No, you can't. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is at HowAboutThemCs. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's Money NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.